And
for them.
speaking of Ruben, lives and paints in London, as you mentioned. Bishop Reed sees himself as a modern missionary, spreading the gospel through his art, and talks in social media as well. His studio is his covenant cell, he calls it, where each painting becomes part of his prayers and communion with the saints, Mother Mary, and God. For him, painting is a relationship. And we're going to talk to him right now. Ruben is with us. Ruben, thank you so much for being with us.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And it's great to see that beautiful art behind you, too. Maybe if you could start off by first introducing us to you and maybe talk about your view of art as a place of encounter.
Yes. Yes, my name is Ruben. I do live and work here in London for the last 8 years, but I have Portuguese blood. So on rainy days like this, I do miss the sunshine from Portugal. So, yes. Um, well, for me, art being a place of encounter, I've realized that since my conversion. So I was a teenager around 15 years old or 14 years old. I was not raised a Catholic, baptism done and over, and then nothing else. But it was through art, to the lives of the saints that are depicted on paintings. And Lisbon have beautiful churches, beautiful paintings. And I started to wonder who these people were. And gradually, the saints through art, they draw me closer to God, especially through the life of Mother Teresa and other martyrs of the early church. I start wondering, why is these people losing literally their heads for this Jesus? Who are they? So getting closer to the saints got me closer to God. So for me, art was a place of encounter. So I wanted that to happen for others. And my views were broadened, especially after arriving to London. If you ever visit London, you know that London is a very diverse city. So going to the Catholic Church here, it's like being on the tube or a subway. You see people from all over the world. And my parish now has people from all over Asia, from all over the Caribbean, from all over Africa, Europe, you name it. And sometimes, as I looked around the community and I see the beauty of the diversity of the people that are part of this uh, beautiful body that is the church, I wonder, where is their representation in sacred art? Isn't that missing? So I started now recently praying over it and trying to have more representation in sacred art, as you can see in my background.
Yeah. You know, I'm looking at your background. Your style is quite unique. It's realistic. It's joyful. How would you describe your style of presenting? I'm just seeing Jesus with the big smile on his face and his Blessed Mother as well. How would you describe your style, your presentation?
Well, well, you all know that Jesus came, made himself human. And that's such a wonderful thing for me, the nativity. It's just something really emotional because if I was God, Earth will be the last place I would want to go to, you know, and he came because he loved us. So it was in his humanity that he started a relationship with us. So I think that sometimes in our representations, when we go to churches, stained glasses or statues, they don't show you humanity. They don't even show emotions. We all have seen pictures or images or representations of the risen Lord with a very serious face now, where it appears like, okay, so where is the joy of the resurrection? We are living such joyous time now after Lent. Where is that joy? And I started wondering myself, I don't want to go to a heaven where we have a grumpy Jesus. So if Jesus is not waiting for each and one of us with a big smile and open arms, why should we even aim to go to heaven? You know, heaven is in his joy and his love, unconditional love for all of us. So I try to show good humor, joy, hope, but also other kind of emotions. I just did a painting of Mary as a Pietà for Saturday, for this last Saturday, Holy Saturday, where she is crying. So I also depict the pain, but with a slight smile of hope, like she's saying to Jesus, "See you soon, my son." So because we know that life didn't end in the cross, it carried on. So I wanted to show that through the expression of Mary. So I work all the emotions because it's how we relate with one another, therefore with God as well, and with the saints.
We're getting to see some of your work as well, Ruben. As we're talking to you, they're putting up some great artwork as well of yours. And you describe yourself as a modern missionary, and your art studio as your convent cell. Can you talk about that a little bit as well?
Well, I got that inspiration from Saint Teresa of Lisieux. If she, as a Carmelite nun, can be the patron for missions, so it means that we can be missionaries wherever we find ourselves. And even Pope Francis said something recently: we cannot be missionaries if we are just closed indoors. But my studio, and through painting, allows me to reach a lot of houses, a lot of Instagram accounts, a lot of Twitter feeds. And we live in an era that image is very powerful. You have teenagers or adult people. We are addicted to social media. So what I wanted to do is for people to slow down, create an image that creates an impact, for people to slow down slightly so a dialogue can start. People will say, oh, who is this person? Why is this happening? What's the stories behind the painting? It creates curiosity, and then a dialogue can happen. So I aim to be that missionary that through painting, I create a platform for a dialogue with God and with the saints can start and can happen.
I'm glad to hear that you were and are inspired by Saint Therese of Lisieux. She's our patroness here at Catholic TV. I got to ask you, before you go, what's your favorite painting of all that you've created?
Well, I cannot answer that because every single painting is special. All of them, they come from my heart. They come from a relationship. Again, it's not a print job, so it requires a lot of work from the background, reading their stories, praying around it. It requires a lot of it. So every single painting is unique, tells a unique story, and creates a unique relation with God or with the saints. So all of them are really unique for me.
A very diplomatic answer, Ruben. Hey, we want to see more. I want to see more. Our viewers want to see more. Where can we find out more about your great work?
Well, Instagram is one of my biggest platforms where people can see the progress of my works. And also YouTube, you can see some of my talks as well. I do a lot of inspirational talks around art and how people can understand their own skills, their own value as human beings. Sacred art and the church is a place for everyone. God loves everyone equally. So that's always my message. So if you go to social media, you will find a lot to see of me. And if you Google, even if you start on Google, it should direct you to my website. So I hope people find it.
All right, great. Can you buy prints of your work?
You can buy prints, and I accept commissions as well. United States, all over our United States, I have original paintings already in a few churches. So that's such a blessing for me. I never thought that art would lead me so far away. In Australia as well, Europe. So I'm really, really, grateful to God. Really, really feeling humbled by all of it. But yes.
Well, we're grateful to you. Ruben, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. And I'm thinking maybe we'll have you we'll commission a portrait of Kevin Nelson. What do you think?
I'm open to anything.
Happy Easter to you, sir. I can't wait to check out your work on Instagram. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. Keep me in your prayers.
We certainly will.
Thank you so much.
Certainly will. Thanks, Ruben. God bless.